McAfee right now at that network, he is the proverbial 800-pound gorilla, and he's going to sit where he damn pleases.
He's going to pick every fight with ESPN and have the fight out in public every time over how they run a Twitter account. I think he could make better use of his time. There must be something deeper involved here. Because again, to point to Elon Musk, he just won the presidency, basically. That's him bat signaling, I'm good with Musk, I'm good with Twitter, I'm good with Donald Trump, I'm your MAGA guy. Maybe he wants Elon Musk to come on College Game Day. I don't know. But I just don't think he could be picking all these public fights. He got Norby Williamson fired. He's had Aaron Rodgers on when everybody else was against him. Everybody knows that he's willing to stand up to ESPN. I just think there must be something deeper going on here. I think this has been approved. McAfee's relationship with the WWE, he knows what a work is. He knows how to play the heel. He knows how to play a role. And I think back to, I played you all the clips from Ben Strauss and John Oran, where it's clear as day, according to these guys. Ben Strauss works for the Washington Post. John Oran that works for Sports Business Journal. They cover the sports media intensely. ESPN is trying desperately to pivot away from we're the woke network. They're trying to say we're the even-handed network. And I think it's Pat McAfee's job that he's the MAGA heel. That this is, Vince McMahon is writing this script.
Well, let's put it this way, okay, with the WWE/WWF analogy, and like I've said, I admit it, there's a period of time in my much younger days that I was a fan. Maybe he's their Roddy Piper, and his show is one big Piper's Pit. And you know what? If he's going to go all the way and be the disruptor, you know what? Maybe just time after time, day after day, he's going to get that one coconut, two coconut, and shove it right in the face of whoever is his Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And by the way, greatest moment ever in WWF history. So maybe he's that guy. Maybe he's the hot rod or the modern ESPN. I find it entertaining because I know this for a fact. With some of those sub-accounts on Twitter with different sports at ESPN, the people that handle those accounts, they have their own biases and prejudices, and you could see it sometimes. And maybe this is his way, Pat McAfee, of saying, hey, buddy, you don't have to like me, but trust me, I matter. So if I'm on that coverage, I better be included. You know what? I kind of respect the consistency.
I wondered when this whole thing started because I became a fan of Pat McAfee because he wasn't on ESPN. And I think there was a lot of people that were seeking alternate ways to consume sports and sports talk away from ESPN because ESPN basically decided I wasn't their customer anymore. And I was curious how him going to that network was going to affect his viewership because I think a lot of people really wanted an alternative to ESPN. I think they've done a great job of allowing this guy the freedom to just rail and go. He does have the power. I think it's working. You know, you talk about the Varsity interview that you're mentioning. I think there's a lot of truth to it. ESPN, compared to like Fox, I feel like Fox has gotten preachy and much more in the liberal lane. And I think ESPN is really running this thing, whether it's an intentional thing and it's authentic, it's working.
Fox Sports, and has Fox Sports gotten preachy? You know, Emmanuel Acho certainly comes off.
I feel like Colin has.
Colin Cowherd.
Cowherd definitely has.
Nick Wrong.
Right.
Donald. Yeah.
Nick Wrong.
Nick Wrong.
Huh. Well, I gotta marinate on that because I gotta marinate more on that. Just yeah. There is
Jason,
some truth to that, but yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen to McAfee here if he pushes too hard? He's going to get let go from ESPN, and all of a sudden it's free agency, and he still has his own platform and his own brand, and guess what? there will be some other brand or corporate sponsors that will say, we're going to even pay you even more money and you can have true freedom. He has all the leverage here. And after all the left-wing Marxist propaganda that has been spewed out by that network for the better part of a dozen years, I find McAfee to be downright patriotic and refreshing. Keep at it, Pat. Don't stop.
Okay, let's ESPN or Fox Sports has gotten preachy. Preachier than Ryan Clark? No. Preachier than Sarah Spain? And again, she's kind of on the fringe. She's not mainstream. But Ryan Clark is the preachiest person in sports media.
But there's a balance, counterbalance to that now on ESPN. I don't think anybody cares. I don't care if anybody has those opinions as long as there's a counterbalance or somebody else speaking up on it. And that's where I think ESPN is going. There's no one on Fox saying these things.
Yeah, I want to make this point. I think there's a line between, or a difference between preaching and whiny. I think Ryan Clark is really whiny. And a lot of whatever the more provocative statements he makes, in all fairness, are on the pivot. That's his own platform. I don't think he's really that over the top, at least nowadays on ESPN, at least from what I have observed.
And we've certainly seen, like, Shannon Sharp's not really preachy on ESPN or even much with Club Shay Shay. Stephen A. Smith tries to both sides the issue, but he's even piped down. Haven't heard much. Elle Duncan hasn't done much recently. Malika Andrews hasn't been wagging her finger. Wow. I just don't buy it, though. Yeah. I it's a gimmick. I just don't buy it. I think, but maybe I should. Maybe Ben Strauss and John Oren, maybe there is some legitimacy to it that Fox Sports is the preachy, whiny network, and but ESPN's brand is so damaged, I don't think they can recover. And maybe they think they can. Maybe they think they can get Donald Trump or Elon Musk to come on their network, and that would be the moment where they would, stick a flag in the sand and say, "Yep, we've changed. We're both sides in the issue." But ESPN's done so much damage to their brand. Can they recover from that, from being the woke network?
Well, Jason, I look back at the time when Curt Schilling was basically jettisoned from that network because he was a right-hander. And I don't mean his pitching. There was a systematic silencing of anyone that was not far left. Okay? And I actually find McAfee to be quite refreshing.